Good morning. Today, I'm just waking up after going out to dinner last night to a Mexican restaurant where my sister and I used to live in the same neighborhood. Yes, my sister Linda King from Utah came into town last night, so we celebrated. And oh, what a time I was having. There was a very strong wind. Yes. And it I started to take a walk, and I just couldn't stay on my feet even with my walker. It was just, so I decided once safe, I went back inside, and when I came out to walk to her car, same thing. Oh, just a dynamite wind. And then we could not get her trunk didn't hold the walker, and her back seat was loaded with all her belongings that she brought with her for a 2-week stay. And so, oh, this is a big trouble with using a walker, is actually the wind was so strong that I could hardly stay on my feet with the walker, let alone without one. So I said I'd go upstairs and get a cane. Well, I did that. Leo, her companion, walked me to the elevator, and when I came back down with that cane was just practically useless. So, so, but I did leave my walker home because we couldn't get it in the car. This is one of the few cars that I've ever ridden in where the walker just would not fit. Well, it would have fit in the back seat if it hadn't been full, but so after we struggled with my apparatus that I used, and is a godsend to me when I go out anywhere because I don't have to carry. And chronic fatigue, kind of weakened my some, because when I get chronic fatigue symptoms, it hits me in my walking area, so that I can hardly walk, and I have to get better and get more steady on my feet and so on. So in old age, my daughter, who's a nurse, kept saying, "Mom, I think it'd be safer if you would use a walker." And I've discovered that it really is. And a big trend now is to get away from scooters, where you don't get any exercise, and get people in walkers if you possibly can. And you should see when we all get on the bus. Oh, walker. You know this is, I call Phoenix Cripple City. It's all anybody who has a rheumatism or some difficulty in their walking heads right straight for Phoenix, because the winters are so mild, and they head right straight back to their home state if they can in the summer, because the summers are ferocious. And with climate change, I don't know what's going to happen. Climate change is causing whether we like it or not, or believe it or not, we're now breaking records for heat. But I didn't take any pictures. I didn't even mention a video because we were so preoccupied with all the traffic downtown now. And we had to just be patient because it was after work and everybody was going home. And then we finally got to the restaurant. Linda had kind of forgotten where it was. They thought it was down, and it was up, but it was a big, well, it was a place where it was so popular, you knew very well it was going to be good. So we had a great time, I did, with visiting and talking and eating Mexican food, and Leo is Mexican, so he is ultimate, so he knows, you know, he speaks the language. So we had a really nice afternoon, and we discussed, you know, the issues even that are affecting the Mexican people right now, what illegal immigration, deportations, and working, and all kinds of stuff while we were talking. And Leo is a very funny guy. He's always humorous, so I enjoy it. And he's been in the family for a long time, so Linda's companion, so we were comfortable with one another, you might say, and that is the best way to have a great time. And Linda, I approached her about doing a video on her book, Mad Ouija. She and I are the two sisters that spent time in psych wards, and these stays that we had in the psych ward were both, they were rough and significantly different. And I've urged Linda to try to do a video on her book about it. Now, every single video that I've ever done with my sister Linda has been immensely popular. She has a big following due to her other book, Loving and Hating Charles Bukowski. That he is the famous California writer, poet, and LA Free Press writer who Linda spent 5 years with. And of course I interacted with Charles Bukowski and her when they were together. And the main thing I was worried about is Linda had this nervous breakdown, and I was afraid that their fights, his drinking, you know, her husband that she had divorced did not drink at all, and he went to work every single day. He was this, and I feared that the drinking behavior would stress and strain her so badly that she might have, I don't know what, you know. And so I was kind of grumpy around when Bukowski went on any, you know, there was big fights. I'd be worried. I'd think, being the oldest sister, and I always thought it was my duty to look after all the younger sisters and boss them around if possible. And so Linda was quite leery of me doing a video on this, but she's going to be here for 2 weeks, so maybe one day she'll just wake up and say, okay, I'll do a video with my sister Jerry. And then she can put it on her. She can use it however she wants to. I told her, I said, if I talk about, I did, on my channel, I posted an interview that her son did of me, a video interview about Charles Bukowski and my sister Linda's relationship. I said, Linda, this got, thousands of hits. You know, it's quite, when your sister is so popular on your channel, this is kind of disconcerting. And I thought, will I ever, my own memoir I haven't even got it up to Amazon yet in a softback, because it takes time to do all these things. It's got to be, the barcode's got to be printed into it, and then people will be able to get a softback. So, you know, this business of trying to become famous it's daunting. I mean, you have a book, and you've even got another book written and ready, and you're hung up wondering, how do you get people to read your book once you've written it and published it? Oh, you know, there's a lot to this publishing. And also, I'm pro-life activist, which has caused me, as I perceive it, to be very unpopular. But it has to be done. As far as I'm concerned, for the world to be a better place, you always have to go for the ideal that you believe we should be living by. If you perceive this as important, then you have to fight for it. Whether you're popular or whether you're not, for the survival of the race and the survival of our humanitarian qualities. Rather than, you know, getting in a big panic when the earth starts to shrink because of the population explosion, and we're thinking, oh, how are we going to survive? We just start genocide, killing off all the people that really don't need to be alive, you know. They don't really need. We have too many people already. I mean, there's people that I think worry about this day and night, about how we're overloading the earth with people. I mean, we tried to save them for years and years and years, cure all the diseases, do everything we could, and now that we've saved a lot of people, well, now we're, you know, legalized abortion is a way of getting rid of, shouldn't use that word, I guess, but it fits how your priorities change when the earth is threatened itself due to overpopulation. This is how we got the ozone messed up with all our millions and millions of cars, which we don't see any sign of, I don't see any sign of giving up very soon. And fossil fuel for, just all of the challenges that we have today. Now, we in Phoenix are going to have a huge challenge, more and more, if we don't do something about our problems, is the temperature's going to rise, and it's already almost unbearable, so how in the world are we going to stand it in the summer? I dread it coming, dread it. But anyway, I'm looking forward to my sister's visit, Linda's, and hoping that she'll get around to making a video with me. So thanks, Linda, for that great dinner. It was very enjoyable, and it was good reminiscing with you again about old times.